It's been 21 years of a tortuous journey in the area of democracy. And in as much as it is time to be the most viable form of government that encompasses everybody being involved in governance, we really haven't seen much of the benefit. The June 12 day is an iconic day. For me personally, I have a kind of relationship with them, with the Abiola family. One of the children is my very good friend, and I was involved in the June 12 era. I was involved in the election, per se, on the day of the election. I voted the same place where MK Abiola voted, because we fall under the same ward. And it was an exciting day that day, but unfortunately, after we had done so much, everything was brought down by the military government. We lost out on everything. The election was annulled, and then we started the battle with the military. It was 2 years we lost 2 years of education for those of us who were in school then, and we didn't relent. We went on, and it's June 12th that birthed the democracy that we had that we started off in 1999. The likes of Bola Tinubu and Co. and the late Alfred Ruwani, who was the major sponsor of the Nadeko movement then, after which when he was killed at Kingsway Road in Ikoyi, Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over and then took us to this level where we are. Many people who have benefited from this democracy now are not even involved in the struggle in the first place. But that's the way life is. Some work, some benefit. Some work and they don't benefit where they have worked, while some don't work and benefit from there. That's the way God is the only one that can answer that kind of question or mystery. But let me start. If I go to the 1999 era, it was a joyous day. Despite the fact that me as a Yoruba man, the larger part of us didn't vote for whoever became the president. It was President Obasanjo. We mostly voted for Falaye. But somehow Obasanjo came in and then we gave him his support. Unfortunately for us, in as much as he tried in some areas where trying to bring in nice policies, had a good working team and everything, his overbearing attitude didn't let us see the fruits of many things. A lot of people will give him the benefit of bringing in GSM for us. Yes, you can give him the benefit, there's no doubt about it. He commercialized it. The real person who brought GSM into Nigeria was the late General Sani Abacha. So at the time Abacha was in government, we already had a few GSM lines working within the government circle, and there was a company called Hyperia that was supposed to be the monopoly of GSM then. But unfortunately, since Abacha died, Obasanjo took over, brought in MTN and Airtel, and then we've seen the benefit. Those two organizations alone have brought in so many people. There's been a large level of employment in that field. There's been economic benefits. People have gone into big business. GSM phone business is booming in Nigeria. I expect that by now we should be getting close to building our own local phones because of the level of consumption that we have in that field. But by and large, the larger picture that should have taken us far and that should have helped us is infrastructure. Between 1999 and 2015, we had a deficit of 16,000 infrastructure. We weren't building infrastructure. The ones we had, we weren't improving on them, and that's why we are here. We are here today. We have a government now that was voted in democratically. They seem to want to be doing their best in the area of infrastructure, but there's a lot to be said in the area of security. But we all have a role to play as individuals, whether we like it or not. The challenges that Nigeria has today can be solved, but it will take a long time if we have to go democratically. Because what it means is that they have to go through the laws and everything. Those countries that had the similar issues like Nigeria and got out of it never solved their problem using democracy. I am not saying that we should drop democracy. I'm only just telling you people, we're just telling us what lies ahead for us. It's a process, a long process. If we don't do it, we will not get to the promised land. So it's a journey for all of us. Democracy is for all of us. It's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. It's the best form of government so far, but it doesn't solve easily the problems that are ahead in this country. For me, it is the best way out. And presently, let me tell you the truth, based on Nigerian Constitution of 1999, the most powerful arm of government, you might disagree with me, is the governorship level of governance. They have so much power, but because of their selfish interests, majorly, they're not using it to help us. If you want to know, keep an eye on what happens between now and 2023. You will see that whoever is going to be the next president of Nigeria, be it PDP, be it APC, be it any party, the governors will have a say in who becomes the president of this country. A major say. The ruling party, APC, the APC governors that are controlling their states are the ones who nominated all the ministers. The APC governors, out of their senators, own at least 90% of the senators. The APC governors control the party structure. The president can wield the federal power, but when it gets close to election period, the governors are the one in charge. And the governors have not done enough. They really haven't done anything except a few. You have, I'll give you an example. The president wanted local government autonomy, judicial autonomy, and legislative autonomy at state level. He wanted local governments to have their own autonomy so that the states don't control them. He wanted judiciary to determine their own budget, how they expend their budget and their operations. Same goes for the legislatures. You will ask yourself another question. Why did the president not take these three things through the National Assembly? Because he knows that if he takes it through the National Assembly, that is largely controlled by the governors, those three things will not see the light of the day. So the president decided to sign executive orders to make those things become a reality. Our governors went to court to challenge the executive order the president signed. And the case is still in court. Of course, any case that is in court, there's nothing you can do. You have to wait for the court to decide. You will ask again, what are the reasons the governors are putting forward for going to court to challenge these things? Because you see, if you have state autonomy at judicial level, autonomy at legislative level, and local government level, that is the proper federalism that we're looking for. Where my local government chairman, if I know his budget every month is 200 million and he has gotten his money, I expect him to come and do my drainage if my drainage has issues, or at least provide local security within the zone. All this insecurity that we're talking about, but the reason why it will not go easily is because we still have a federal structure that manages our security. Until we marry the federal structure, the existing federal structure, with an elaborate state structure in the area of security, that is when we'll be able to curb the security challenge. Because security is first local before it becomes federal. If a man begins to kidnap people on a Somo close now, if we don't curb him there, he's going to graduate to a Mina Crescent. Before you know it, he will go as far as Obode. Before you know it, you go as far as Ibadan. So, but if we nip it in the bud as early as a Somo close, then we'll be fine. The easiest way is to make security solution to become local. Make it local. Let there be state police. Let there be local government security. Let us use Lagos as an example. Lagos state government is the one funding RRS. RRS is part of the federal police, but Lagos state capped it out with the support of the federal government. So Lagos state is the state that pays their emoluments and their welfare, whatever that is entitled, they are entitled to give them equipment, both ammunition and vehicles and everything through the support of the likes of Dangote and Co. Lagos State has a state security trust fund, you know, that have been very effective. You cannot tell me that RRS hasn't done a good job in Lagos. If you walk from here to Alausa Secretariat, you probably see at least 3 stationed RRS vehicles. That alone deters robbers or criminals from committing crime. So if we make security a bit local, make it local, we'll be fine in that area. The people at the National Assembly are talking now, everybody's shouting about insecurity, everybody's doing video, doing this. They're all playing to the gallery. Twice, a bill on having state police has been sent to the National Assembly, both the 8th and the 9th Assembly. Twice, those bills were killed. The bills didn't see the light of the day. Anybody who meant well won't kill such a bill. So if you people want to be listening to them and be listening to them to be doing videos and telling you lies, you can go ahead and listen to them. Those of us who know that the only reason why they're making so much noise is because they want to come back in 2023. They want to distance themselves away from the president. They want to put every blame on the president. There was a lot of noise before the late Chief of Army Staff died, before he was appointed. People shouted, talked about how they had to take out Brutai and Co. That they should bring in new ones. That is because the old ones are there. That's why we're not having results. The president didn't heed for a long while. When they finally agreed, he changed them. I ask you a simple question: has he changed? So, what I have noticed is that Nigeria and Nigerians, including myself, I'm not exempting myself, we act too much. We are not different from Nollywood actors and actresses. We don't face reality. During the lockdown, lockdown for COVID, we had a discussion with my friends. I asked a simple question: if we lock down Nigeria, who will enforce the lockdown? I said the Nigerian police. I said the same Nigerian police. Was the lockdown effective? No. We only created an avenue for some policemen to extort money. And they extorted money very well. A friend of mine, during that period, drove from Abuja to Lagos 3 times and went back 3 times. So that means he went on that route. That means he went on that route 6 times. If we say there is a lockdown and a man drives from Abuja to Lagos 6 times within that period, don't you know that there's a problem? So we shouldn't let anybody play to the gallery for us. People like Dino Melaye will come, they will do video, be telling us the truth. Any man who is going to tell me the truth must be able to preach. Any man who is preaching the truth must be able to act the truth. If you can't act it, you step aside. Our governors went to Delta about 2 or 3 weeks ago, came out with a communique and banned open grazing in the south. I'm in total agreement with it. But they never gave an alternative. If you ban it, you're saying all those cows should go back to the north. Don't forget that Lagos State government recently came up with a fantastic agricultural plan for 6 years that says that we should, if we look into that plan, we will grow our agricultural level to a certain degree. And in that document, they said we consume cows in Lagos alone worth 380 billion naira in a year. Another thing I want to put to you is this: most of the cows you see on the road between Lagos and Ibadan, going anywhere, do you think it's the Hausas that own them? No. They're basically owned by Southwesterners. The only thing is that Southwesterners are not headers. So what we do is when I have like 100 cows and I want to head them, I go to the Hausa community, look for their head. It gives me one header that manages my cow. And so it is we Southerners that own it. So how come we cannot create our own ranches? How come our governors have not been able to come up with a plan to tell us that if you are into cow business, you need to lease a land from us. Within this zone, your cows cannot go beyond this place. That's all. They've gone now 3 weeks now, no solution. All they have done is play to the gallery, and we have held them. They've banned open grazing. Hausa Fulani should go. It doesn't stop anybody. Though for those who are angry looking for war, I'm not looking for war. But if the war comes, we will all be here. Those of us that will suffer from it, will suffer from it. Those of us that will not suffer from it, will not suffer from it. The truth about it is, you and I, when we lose someone dear to us, and the person dies, when someone dies, we end up crying so much. If it's an elderly person, we do a lot of celebration. The average Hausa man does not celebrate those kind of things, and life means very little to them. So if you kill 1 million of them, by the time we lose one, it hurts us more than them. It is only normal for us to try and avoid anything that will bring disparity and that will lead us to war. Let us try and, as much as possible, to live as one. Some of us who have lived in the north before and lived amongst Hausas know that they can be very accommodating. We should be tolerant. When we have differences, we find a solution to it. Don't let anybody come and be deceiving us. And we play ethnic card, we play tribal card in every aspect, but when it comes to sharing Nigeria's loot, there's no ethnicity there. The Yoruba man will sit down, the Igbo man will sit down, the Nupe man, Hausa man, they will share Nigeria's money among themselves. And then lastly, on the security thing, the reason why we have huge challenges in the security is because the free monies that used to go around in Nigeria, those who used to control Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's wealth, are gradually losing out. Then practically the people funding all these things, with the support of some of the international community people. If tomorrow the president decides to say, okay, you know what, let us go back to normal life, how we used to do things, you see that the security challenge will go down. Everybody just wants a share of the country, that's all. No sincerity anymore.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome.